Get comfy, settle in, and let your worries drift away. Tonight, you're invited on a gentle journey, a magical story ready to unfold just for you. So wrap yourself in warmth, take a deep breath, and let the tale carry you to a place of wonder and calm. The Alleys of Thistlewick, written for a rainy day, warm socks, and hearts full of wonder. There was a boy named Kip, and he was the sort of boy who liked the rain. Not in the way adults say they do because it's refreshing or good for the garden, but in the way only children and frogs really mean it. Kip loved the squelch of boots in mud, the symphony of raindrops on cobblestones, and the way puddles waited like hidden treasure. Kip lived in a crooked little town called Thistlewick, all steep lanes and leaning chimneys. Some said it looked like the wind had pushed it around a bit before leaving it there to settle. The buildings huddled close together like old friends sharing secrets, and the alleyways, oh, the alleyways, twisted and turned like they had minds of their own. It was on one particularly rainy Tuesday that Kip set out on his grandest expedition yet. He zipped up his bright yellow coat, tugged on his boots, which squeaked a bit when he walked, and slipped out the back gate before anyone could say, "Wait, take an umbrella." Kip liked the rain on his cheeks. It made the world feel alive. Down Puddingstone Lane he went, past Mr. Grumple's pastry shop, where the buns smelled like cinnamon and small arguments, and into the narrowest alley he could find. He called it the Snickle. No one knew where the Snickle actually ended, and Kip suspected even the town maps were too shy to say. He jumped in every puddle, splish, sploosh, splat. Some puddles were shallow and cheerful, others were suspiciously deep and had a way of splashing up one's socks in betrayal. Kip laughed, his boots echoing off the old stone walls as he turned corner after corner, following whatever looked the most interesting. And that's when it happened. He turned down a part of the alley he didn't remember seeing before. It had a crooked sign that read Thimblewick Passage and was lit by little floating lanterns that bobbed gently in the mist. At first, Kip didn't notice anything strange until he saw a tabby cat in a top hat discussing weather patterns with a crow in a waistcoat. Kip blinked. The cat doffed its hat politely. "Lovely day for puddle jumping, young sir." "I think I've taken a wrong turn," Kip mumbled. "Or a right one," the crow said with a wink. "Depends how you look at it." Kip had wandered into other Thistlewick. It looked like the town he knew, cobblestones, crooked houses, chimney smoke curling into the sky, but it shimmered slightly at the edges like reality was made of dreams here. The alleyways still twisted, but now they whispered to him. He passed a bakery with cupcakes that giggled, a bookstore where the books reshelved themselves, and a tailor's shop run by a badger with spectacles and a surprisingly good sense of humour. And then he met Nella. She was sitting atop a rain barrel, wearing a cloak made of silver moth wings, and drinking tea out of a cup that refilled itself. "You're not from here," she said, not unkindly. "No," Kip said, brushing water off his coat. "I think I got a bit lost." "Well, lucky for you, lost is where all the best adventures begin." She hopped down, her boots making no sound on the cobbles. "I'm Nella. I'm a finder." "A finder?" "Of lost things, keys, socks, grand adventures, and children who take brave wrong turns." She reached into her satchel and pulled out a small, glowing orb. It floated above her palm, pulsing like a sleepy star. "Want to see something wonderful?" Kip nodded so hard his hood fell back. Nella led him through twisting lanes that didn't obey geometry, up staircases that folded into ladders, through doors carved into barrels, and one through a grandfather clock that was only right twice a day. And then they came to a wide square where the rain fell in slow motion, soft and glowing like stardust. In the middle stood a tree, ancient and silver, with glowing blossoms that whispered old lullabies. Beneath its boughs sat creatures from stories Kip didn't know yet. A tea-drinking troll, a dragon wearing spectacles, a girl made of wind. They all wandered here once, Nella said, like you. Do they ever go back? Some. Others stay and become part of the magic, but everyone leaves with something more than they came with. Kip looked around. What do I take? Nella smiled and tapped his chest right over his heart, a knowing that the world is wider and weirder and more wonderful than most people ever imagine, and that even the smallest step off the known path can change everything. Kip looked up at the glowing rain, listened to the tree hum a song older than time, and felt something bubble inside him, like laughter and starlight all mixed up. He laughed, not because anything was funny, but because everything suddenly felt possible. Eventually, Nella led him back, down a lane that hadn't been there before, under an arch made of ivy and bells, and suddenly, plip, plop, splash. He was in the snickle again. The rain was still falling, real and wet and thoroughly unmagical, except maybe it wasn't. Because Kip was smiling a different kind of smile now. He walked home slowly, listening for whispers in the alleyways and half expecting the puddles to giggle. When he reached his back gate, his boots were soggy, his coat was dripping, and his heart felt like it had grown 2 sizes to make room for all the magic. And that night, when the fire crackled and the wind howled outside, Kip told his mum a story about a cat in a top hat and a silver tree and a girl who found lost things. And though she chuckled and tousled his hair and said, "What a wonderful imagination you have," Kip knew. He knew it wasn't just a story. Moral of the story: sometimes the most magical places are found when we take the wrong turn with the right kind of wonder. Keep your eyes open, your heart curious, and your boots ready.